Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm just going to be sharing some products that I am decluttering from my collection. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. So this is not going to be one of those full collection declutters by any means. Just every once in a while I like to go through my collection, pull out some things that I am just quite honestly not going to use, and pass them along to somebody who's going to enjoy them or throw them out if I need to. So that's what I've done today, and today I just decided I would actually share what I'm passing on. So let's just get into it. The first product is from Burt's Bees. This is their Color Nurture Cream Blush. This needs to be tossed. I purchased this because I was definitely going through a phase of testing out cream blushes. And I think this was dried out from the moment I opened it. And you can see it's only gotten worse. There's no way I can salvage this or use it. And I'm honestly quite annoyed that it was dried out essentially before I got it. So highly possible I just got a product that had been on the shelf for a while, but I'm going to be tossing this one. The next product I unfortunately have to toss is also from Stila. This is one of their Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadows. This one is in the shade Grace. I loved this one, and this one is unfortunately just completely dried out. I know these really don't last that long, so you can see I'm really not getting much there. These really do only last about 6 to 12 months depending. I used this so much when I first got it, and then I kind of forgot about it. I have had this for about 3 years at this point, so it's time to go. I really do love these. I think they're beautiful. I think if you are looking for a great cream shadow, I think these are phenomenal. It's just, I think they're going to be best for somebody who's going to wear them every single day and actually get their use out of it. I don't think this is something that can sit in your collection to be used on occasion because, again, they do dry out fairly quickly. They have a pretty short shelf life. So unfortunately, I'm going to be tossing this as well. I pulled out the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Eyes to Mesmerize. I missed the return window on these. Otherwise, I would have returned them. These were awful. I absolutely love Charlotte Tilbury so much, and her original Eyes to Mesmerize formula in the more shimmery shades, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I don't typically speak poorly of Charlotte Tilbury products, but these are honestly terrible. I have the shades Nude Cashmere, which was supposed to be like a really pretty nude shade. These feel hard, like putty. When these first launched, I think it was January, so when I originally got them in the mail, I thought, oh, okay, like they just need to warm up. No. Because when they blend out, they're so kind of hard and waxy. And when you do put them on, yes, they will last all day, but you have like 0.2 seconds to get them blended out and in position. You don't want to try to build these. You don't want to add any other colors on top. You want to be really, really sure about your shade because, yeah, these do dry down and they are stuck like cement if you can manage to blend them out. I also have the shade Flawless Beige. Again, you can see it just looks really, really stiff. That's because it is. This one's even drier than the other one. Yeah. There's nothing. I have a full review on these that isn't exactly glowing. These are quite potentially some of the worst products I've ever tried, and I feel bad to say that, but I will recommend Charlotte Tilbury products to you all day long. I just will not recommend these. They're so dry. They don't blend out. It's like trying to blend clay on your eyelids, and even if you can get them to blend out, you can't do anything else. You can't add color. You can't build them. Nothing. I don't even think somebody who enjoys very minimal one and done shadows is going to enjoy these because, again, they're just like hard clay. So unfortunately, I'm finally going to get rid of these. I wish I hadn't missed the return window, but I did. Next, I'm going to be passing along the e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam palette. I still use this. First of all, a lot of these shades just don't work for me. I find the formula to be a bit on the dry side, and the only shimmer that I think could actually work for me is this one, and it's very dry. The pan keeps trying to fall out as well, and all I get off of this is glitters. I don't get any pigment, nothing. It's just straight glitter, which I just don't want on my face. The rest of these seem okay, but I don't love super glowy bronzers, and these are just a little deep. I don't know what I was thinking when I picked this up. Clearly none of these are going to be great highlight shades on me, and I don't want to use even one of them as a bronzer because I don't like super shimmery bronzers. I don't know what I was thinking with this one. I don't think this is one of e.l.f.'s best products. I think they have some incredible products. I just don't think this is one of them. I don't even know if they still sell this, but if they do, I would recommend passing on it, but I'll see if I know somebody who's interested. Next, I'm going to be passing along 4 eyeshadow palettes. So the first one is the Too Faced Too Femme eyeshadow palette. This one, I do have a full review up, and I just don't like this. It looks so pretty. The outer packaging is so cute and pretty. The palette inside looks really beautiful as well, but the quality just is not there. The mattes, I would say, are fine. You do get cute little embossments on these larger shades here, but you lose them very, very quickly. In this palette, the mattes overall were fine, but some of the shimmers, some of them are just really chunky. There's so much fallout. They're kind of dry. Some of them aren't dry at all. Like this one is really, really nice feeling, and it looks quite pretty. But then if you go up to this mint shade up here, that just, it's pretty, but I mean, it doesn't really give much of anything at all, and I was really excited for that mint shade. So I don't know, I just really didn't think the quality of this one was very good, especially for the Too Faced price point. I just think they could do so much better. So I am going to be passing this one along. I wanted to love it, I just didn't. Next is another palette that I've mentioned quite a few times before that I just really did not enjoy, and this is from Huda Beauty. This is the Caramel Brown Obsessions. So this one I just don't like because, again, the mattes are fine, but the shimmers are what I have a problem with. This one here in the top corner has very little pigment to it. These ones are quite dry, to be honest with you. They're just really hard to work with. I find the shimmers in this palette were just really lacking in quality. I think some of the shimmers, there's no pigment, some of them are chunky, some of them are just really dry. I just couldn't get along with this formula. I have had some pretty good experiences with her 9 pans since this collection launched, but unfortunately this one was just a big miss for me. And now it just sits in my collection doing absolutely nothing. So I am going to pass this one along as well. This next one makes me kind of sad, but I think I'm going to pass along the Pat McGrath Mothership Rose Decadence palette. So this is just one of her 6 pans. This one came out a few years ago. I just don't think the quality of this one is as good as some of her other palettes. And again, it's a few years old. We know Pat McGrath is a little bit on the repetitive side, so I definitely have a lot of these shades and similar shade ranges in her Motherships and some of her other palettes, so it doesn't really hurt me to get rid of this one because I know I can create duplicate looks with some of her others, and some of her other palettes are honestly better quality. So I think I know a couple people who might really enjoy this, so I am going to pass this one along. It's not horrible, it's just not a favorite. It was limited edition, you can't get it anymore, and it just wasn't her best, so I'll pass this one along as well. And lastly, I'm going to be parting with the Tarte Pro Remix palette. So this one, I don't know why I ever picked this one up. So I think I actually got this one in like a FabFitFun, and this one is nice because you get a giant mirror, and I love the scent of the Amazonian clay formula, as I've mentioned, but I mean, this color story, even though it has a couple of very wearable neutrals, this just isn't a color story I'm going to reach for and enjoy. I don't reach for it. So that tells me right away I'm not going to use this. If I haven't touched it in however long now, I'm probably not going to. So I am going to pass this along as well to somebody who's going to enjoy it and get a lot of use out of it and have some fun with it. The formula still seems to be in really good shape. It's just not a color story that I reach for or enjoy. But that is it. So that is the makeup that I am parting with. Let me know down below if you'd like to see more of these videos. Again, I really don't do huge collection declutter purges. I just like to go through my collection every once in a while and see what I'm not using and maybe pass it along. So let me know if you'd like to see more of these in the future, because I can definitely do that. But I was just kind of thinking, in lieu of all of the holiday releases and the fact that I've been very busy reviewing new makeup, I need to make some room in my collection. So I'm gonna pass these along. toss the things that are dried up and awful. But that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!